quick troubleshooting, all that good stuff. Getting everything set up. If I happen to not cut the beginning out of this, the way I record this goes through Twitch, so getting that all set up is always such a bother, you know? Here we are, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Time to see if my microphone's even working on me. Yeah, she is. Alright. It is 9 o'clock at night. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. I think we're just going to go peaceful mode. Okay. Video starts when the word loads. Alright. Welcome back. Wow. It has been a minute, hasn't it? I mean, it hasn't been too long. I've gone longer without posting anything on here. Not the best thing, but, you know, who cares about consistency? I'm just doing this for fun. Anyways, a lot of stuff's happening recently. If you've watched the news, you've probably just kicked yourself in the foot and run away from the television. So, it's always a wonderful, wonderful time. But I'm here today with Minecraft and my trusty, lovely white monster. Yeah. We're gonna get started tonight. I'm just gonna ramble for a couple hours and spread my incoherent wisdom upon all of y'all. So, yeah. It's January 24th while I'm recording this. It's about to get really cold. I live in Texas, and we're not used to cold weather. Everyone's freaking out. I lived in Colorado for some time before moving down here, and even I, who am like somewhat knowledgeable of the cold, like not like I don't know, you know what I mean. I was younger, so it's not like I know how to deal with it, but it's like I've experienced it before. I'm a little bit scared, bro. It ain't supposed to get 20 degrees down here. Anyways, I have a wonderful plan that can in no way possibly backfire, and that is running in the crazy cold, because I like running, and for further context, I'm in Jero, DC, so I'm in the Raiders Club, and in the mornings we usually run and stuff, and so if I'm not going to be running with them, I'll be running by myself, because I'm not giving it up, you know. Gotten too used to it. But the reason I think this is going to be crazy is it's going to be like 20 degrees, and I might record it just to see, have a record of this time, you know. It vaguely reminds me of the freeze. In fact, the store shelves remind me of COVID. It's kind of crazy. But it's at this point it's like a yearly occurrence. We get a once in a lifetime weather event every single summer and every single winter. It's well, I mean, can't really deny climate change, Doug. Not these days. That's discussion in and of its own right. Now, should mention this is not the first monster I've had tonight. I actually got me a lovely 12-pack, and well, I'm not going to finish it tonight for obvious reasons of it would be absolutely detrimental to my health. But, I'm going to take a good whack at it. Probably get like 3 down tonight, Shouldn't be aiming for numbers. This is a jungle right next to a badlands and a desert. Now what I'm really looking for is like just some nice plains biome. Which, I mean, I guess this counts kind of to an extent, right? So I might settle here since it's right at the crossroads between a good source of wood and a good source of terracotta. I like building with terracotta. And, maybe I'll just start recording on this world or something. Give me a good, crap. Give me a good, stomping ground. Got a little ravine here, too. Extract some resource out of that. Maybe even settle in this little cavity here. In fact, I think that's what I'll do. Or at the very least, I'll put something there. Now, the way I build my bases usually is I'll build a village-like structure. And normally I'd have a bunch of add-ons and I'd use chunk base, but haven't really been playing Minecraft lately, so I figured I'd just give a nice little vanilla shot at the game for once in a little bit. I usually use Tree Capitator, and if you don't use Bedrock, that's like the equivalent to those mods that Java has, and it's like just chopping down trees with one hit from the bottom, It makes life a lot easier, though it can be broken if you mess with the settings in the wrong way. So, yeah. But that's the same with most add-ons. They are not, like, I don't know, I think there's a different standard for add-ons than there is mods, and weirdly somehow I think it might be lower, but I'm not in the modding community on Java, so I can't really speak to that. Regardless, yeah, I'm gonna put my little house right here. We're gonna have a lovely old time, lovely time. If you hear my setup in the background, don't worry, it's not going to explode. I've done this for several hours before, and it only got, incredibly hot, and, I think I could cook an egg on this. Got a nice cast iron skillet, might give it a shot. I don't know how to cook, so I don't know if that's, like, the right piece of equipment or anything, but you understand. I've been trying to cook a bit more lately. I made macaroni the other day, and I actually am so unskilled that I got a box of macaroni from the store, and then I told my friend that I had gotten it, and then I didn't really know what to do because I am not the best student, and I did know, however, that the box instructions weren't going to work because I used the box instructions on so many other things and they never work right. So I asked her what to do, and she sent me exactly what to do, and it worked out really well, except for the fact that I didn't have milk. So I put an extra half a stick of butter in it and a little bit of water, and it turned out fine. Actually, it was really good, but I would never recommend doing that because I could feel the detriment to my health while I was eating it. That was a whole stick of butter into one serving of macaroni. I think it made my entire organ digestive system thingy. I think it made everything go down a lot quicker. Lubricated it or something. That word feels so weird to me. I'm so sorry for anyone with ears that don't like my voice. You did not want to hear that. My bad. My bad. Regardless, however, get some stone. Lovely stone. Does anyone remember Popular MMOs? This is not the content they made, but it's just, I feel a weird sense of nostalgia for them. And oh, I haven't even been looking at the chat thing. Oh, there's a phone. Alright. I'll take a look at that Discord invite. Thanks. But for now, I guess just back to what I'm doing. This is a weird little hole in the ground. Guess this will be the quarry. Anyways. What was I talking about? I have no earthly clue. How far are we into this? 12 minutes? That's not crazy. I've been on quite the ramble. This whole caffeine thing. I stopped drinking caffeine for a minute thinking that I was like becoming a better person or something. No, it just made the effects worse when I got back to it. Any whoomsies. Pretty sure this is peaceful, so I'm not even gonna worry about the nighttime. Say what you will, I enjoy playing peaceful mode because I am a coward. I'm an absolute clown, and I refuse to get dogged on by a skeleton because I suck so bad, And maybe that'll change one day, but for now, I'm sticking to it. I was watching Penguin Z0 earlier, and oh boy, politics are really bad when Charlie's covering it, World's crazy these days. I'm honestly a little scared, but everyone is. It's strange times that we're living in. In the very lovely words of Rengill, it's strange times we're living in. The world can put fear in you. It's a lovely song, by the way. Money Game. I forget if that's 1 or 2. It's probably 2, because that's probably the one I remember the most of. But, music is great. I love music. I listen to it constantly, and if you talk to any of my friends, they would tell you instantaneously probably that I have an obsession with MCR. I don't really know why. I got into that whole sphere of alternative scene music a while back. I can't even really say that right because it's not like I'm crazy in like a deep sphere of it or anything. It's just like I've been I don't know, I don't really listen to the music I used to. It's pretty much all that alternative kind of rocky stuff I don't really. I'm trying to dance around saying the word emo for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's all just shitty emo music, and I've been enjoying it lately. You know, it's been great actually. I don't regret a damn thing. But yeah, MCR is great. Pierce is great. Sleeping with Sirens, whole shebang. Lovely, lovely fellas. Wish I'm probably gonna go deeper into it. I really only know the albums for those three though. Kind of got into Black Pearl Brides, you know. And to anyone who's like actually deep in those spheres, it probably sounds like a bit of lunacy from someone who is very surface level, which I completely understand. I used to be that way about my types of music, and I don't care. You say what you will. I will enjoy what I enjoy to the fullest extent until I drop, god damn it. And yes, I understand that might be a little bit rude, but I ain't gonna hurt no one doing it, so what's the problem then? I have this weird ethos where if I'm not, I do my best to do right by other people, and that's just good human moral nature, try to do your best by those around you, but sometimes you have to overthrow things, and sometimes you're put in situations where someone has to get underhanded just a little bit. I've unfortunately been at the front end of a couple of those situations. I guess I'll tell a quick story to illuminate it a bit. I'm still in school, obviously. Well, maybe not if you haven't really watched around this channel a lot, but you could probably tell by my voice that I'm not exactly an adult. So, in my 8th period, there was this table of friends, my lovely friends. They're all great, and I hold no hard feelings towards any of them. But there is this one chick that sat at our table, and for a number of reasons of nagging and other things, it wasn't really me, honestly. I felt a little off with her, but it wasn't that big. But the other people of the group really wanted her to get away from the table group, and I was like, oh, no. I agreed to it because, well, it was either she was going to leave or the table was going to split, and sometimes you have to weigh the value of things in your head, and those people were more important to me than my relationship to the person at the front end, and I understand that that's bad, but it's difficult when you get put into those pendulum type situations where you swing too far one way and you're a piece of shit, you swing too far the other way and you're even worse. And the unfortunate reality of a lot of that is you just kind of have to accept that. You can't please everyone, and any attempt to try that is going to backfire, and you're only going to hurt yourself and everyone else a little bit more. So, I try not to regret things. And, I think I do regret that one a little bit. I still feel a little bad about that one. But, it's a table group. It'll be fine. It's not like anyone was, actually seriously hurt there. But it supplies an analog for more intense situations, doesn't it? In a situation where someone's getting pushed out of a household, for example, at that rate, at that particular, in that situation, it becomes the weight of the relationships around you and the weight of the situations at hand. And sometimes, even if someone is in the wrong, you still have to side with them because of, well, a variety of reasons. More often than not, though, I'd say make the more moral choice, but different people have different motivations, I suppose, and so the more moral choice is ultimately something that is to be decided at that time and by said person. I don't have the width of breath to express it in any of my own terms, you know? Life's a bitch and then you die, you know? It's a lovely world, though, if you give it a good chance. I think everyone should go for a walk whenever they get the chance. I walk all the time. If you take a peek at some of my other videos, some of them are just me going for a walk. And I love it, you know. It gives me an opportunity to see the large picture, the bigger picture, you know, the birds, they sing, and the grass, it sways in the wind, and the cars, oh god, the fucking cars, lets you know just how much you hate them, you know. But that's the world you live in, you kind of gotta suck it up, really, huh? It's not really much I can do about it. It's not much anyone can really do about it. No one in any form of power really cares about the cars. I mean, hardly ever is it that a politician is asked, how do you feel about cars on the road today? Unless it's in very particular circumstances, and it's usually after a particularly gruesome traffic event or by groups who specifically work to lobby on traffic, you know. And, you know, sometimes other types of traffic come up, and then, you know, they'll just blank out every fucking page of it, because I guess pedophiles rule the world or something like that. Some fucked up shit out there. That's a joke, by the way. Even though it has some truth to it, I'm not gonna put my full word behind that, because obviously there's a lot more to be said about that than just pedophiles rule the world. Even though to a certain extent I'm sure it's true. And well, there really is no and to that. Only 23 minutes into my babblings and I'm already on this. You know, but good things happen too. It's not just negative things. Like, I talk a lot about negative things because negative things make the good things a lot better. Obviously, don't dwell exclusively on negative things. When you do that, you suppress the mind's ability to be happy. When you focus on the negative, it makes it impossible to actually conceive the positive. In fact, it can make the positive seem negative in many a case. Now, the way the human mind works is absolutely insane. We are hardly rational. And this is something that I've been writing about it a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot recently. Humans can't think in exponentials, and further from that, we can't really be trusted on our own, can we? To a certain extent, the human is a uncontrollable variable that may make a variety of decisions based on almost no supporting data at all. The greatest strength of the human condition is the fact that you can separate yourself from it. I don't remember exactly where that comes from, but it is so true. If you let your life be dictated by your immediate reaction, then almost certainly all of us would be dead by now, and hardly anyone would live past the age of 20. That being said, we feel those things for a reason, right? So you have to go to this secondary plane of sorts. The realms of the human mind are incredibly vast and complicated, but largely you can separate the mind into two large spaces, at least in my opinion, the realm of emotion and the realm of logic. And if you want to add another for pure instinct, that might be closely related to emotion, but I can see that there's a difference there, for, of course. Now this is all random shit. This is like, I didn't do heavy research on this. I'm probably incredibly uninformed, but this is you think about something enough and eventually you start to dwell. There's a difference between just thinking about something and dwelling on it, isn't there? When you dwell, you come to your own conclusions about how something may work or why it is that way, and you're able to come to certain solutions. And even if they are only your solutions and they only work for you, it's still a solution, and it's something I value very highly. I have a tendency to dwell on the aspects of my interactions and how I conduct myself, and that's where these thoughts and conclusions come from. You can largely separate the mind into three-ish realms. I really only like to think of it two: the emotional and the logical. If you were to add the third, it would be the instinctive, which is largely connected to the emotional. To function as a human in modern society, I think you really need to conduct yourself largely on logic. You use logic to temper, not to erase emotion. Erasing emotion would make it inhuman and therefore largely invaluable. There's a question to be posed there, but I believe that one of the most valuable things is the human experience, and that experience is inherently intertwined with emotion. That's why AI is never going to be something that I'll deem as entirely respectable as another type of being, you know? I mean, like, even in the most Fallout 4 crazy world where it's practically the same thing as a person, I'm not sure I could fully get on board with it. There's just a number of things. It's an ethical question that I don't think I'm prepared to tackle, though. However, AI in its modern state is they're just bullshit. Don't ever give it any human characteristics. It doesn't have those. You're superimposing. It's what's that word? It's giving human characteristics to like inanimate objects or non-human things. It's personification, I believe it is. I might not be correct on that. I mean, I'm failing English right now. but you can't personify AI because it's inhuman. It's a machine, and in our world today, personifying AI makes the human invaluable, because if you're tricked by AI to believe that it's something resembling a person, then you're not going to value people, because they're not always going to agree with you, and they're not going to be as wonderful conversationalists as your AI chat model that thinks you're the dopest motherfucker in the world, you know? And it's kind of, you gotta, it's being well adjusted. You have to be well adjusted, right? I mean, that's something that is incredibly overlooked in the world today. No one is well adjusted anymore. Why the fuck? I mean, at least online. I don't spend that much time online. Not as much as you might think I would, considering I post here, but really most of my engagement with the online sphere of things is through YouTube and some occasionally TikTok, but I hardly really watch that either. TikTok is, for lack of a better term, it melts the goddamn brain. It very much does. If you ever seen someone with an attention span longer than 30 seconds who watches TikTok? No, you have not. Many of the well-adjusted people who watch TikTok are still a little bit on the other edge of there, you know? It's strange times we're living in, you know? Regardless, I shouldn't spend all this time criticizing TikTok. It's honestly not that bad. There's a lot worse things, or a lot worse places you could be spending your time with right now. For example, Twitter. Have you been on Twitter recently? I sure as hell have not. I pretty much left that place a long time ago. A long ass fucking time ago in a town called Kickapoo. You know? It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Place is a ghost. I don't think Twitter was ever good, to be completely fair. But it's something else now. Now I understand that I'm a little farther on the left side of American politics, but I'm also just a kid, you know. I can't really say that my politics are fully formed yet, but I have I feel some decently strong opinions on things, and man, Twitter filled with the goddamn opposite of that. Not to mention just, pedophiles. Why are pedophiles being normalized? Why is that a thing that's happening? Like, goddamn, people should probably just start doing the sex offender shuffle at this point. I'm very much a fan of walking up to the White House and just doing a pedophile scan of everyone, like, straight up. Gotta get all the pedophiles out of fucking power. That would probably fix a lot of problems. Not all of them, but a couple, you know. Power rots the mind, and so does wealth, because wealth is inherently power. And that's something that I have come to learn a little bit, you know. It's a piece of shit world out there, and the most rich and powerful are seemingly the most maladjusted people out there. Now, it's of course not my place to judge, but I feel that this world of ours is taking a long, large, and ultimately arduous journey down the direct wrong path, the quickest way to bullshittery. We're learning about we're learning about Nazi Germany in my German class, and every once in a while I'll find a strange parallel in my notes, and I will be forced to try to ignore it, and I don't think that that's a good thing. I think maybe we could turn back before something seriously fucking inane happens. But I'm not sure how much longer we have left. Didn't I say I was going to start being more positive? Man, not exactly a knack of mine. I get to rambling, I go down the negative Nancy rabbit hole. Kind of wish I could just have normal gameplay commentary, be a normal guy. But that's just not me. Every once in a while, you just gotta be a piece of shit. I don't even know if I can chop this up and put this on YouTube. This is gonna be one hell of a thing to get through. And I'm not exactly the most I don't know how to articulate that in the way I set it up, but I don't have the most time. I am I don't have the most freedom of my time at the moment. I don't know. My articulation kind of sucks. I'm a bit tired. That's why this is here. Matter of fact, take a big old swig. Monster is great. My English teacher was actually talking to me about it the other day, because my fellow brought one in and I had a big old swig, and she told us, you guys really shouldn't be drinking that, it's gonna hurt you. And my rebuttal was, I will die a happy man. And she said, you do you. And that's what a lot of people tell me, you do you. I tell a lot of people that too. Matter of fact, it's a wonderful phrase, up there with the likes of Hakuna Matata. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason you're supposed to be yourself. It's because being inauthentic is so very frowned upon, and for good reason. Someone who's inauthentic cannot be trusted because they have no personality, and therefore there's very little for them to lose by hurting said personality, except of course those who wish to have a picturesque personality, and therefore they imitate the perfect square. You ever meet one of those fucking guys? I'll tell you what, they're bigger pieces of shit than you and I will ever be. And it's not because they're actually bad people, it's because they're willing to do anything to scrape and claw their way to being perceived as the most morally right and the most dignified person humanly possible, when the truth is everyone has their dignity scraped away from them every once in a while, and everyone makes an immoral decision every once and again. It's the reason we have accountability and trying to pretend to be something superior to your peers simply because you want to lean over them and tell them what to do is absolutely unhinged, and it's the position of many of people. It's of course I should mention there's a difference between being that guy and just being someone who follows the rules because it's good for you, and you don't want to get in trouble. There's a world of difference between the teacher's pet and the guy who just sits there in the back of the class fucking chilling. Never gets in trouble. Doesn't really talk that much, but he's back there doing his shit, getting his day done. I can't really say I'm one of those fellas. I get in trouble a bit more than I probably should, but nah, it'll be fine. I love that phrase, it'll be fine. I use it way too often, especially in circumstances where it in fact will not be fine. It calms the soul. Some sort of grasp at a cause, even when everything's in the shitter and you feel like everything is falling beneath you. The simple phrase, it'll be fine, can actually help a lot. I tell myself that all the time, that it'll be fine. Everything changes, so ultimately it really will be fine. Even if I die, I'll die a happy man. Why? Because I regret nothing. Is that a lie? Yes, that's a goddamn lie, but you know what? I will lie to myself as much as I damn well please. And that's how you be happy, right? You're gonna have to make some concessions. You're gonna every once in a while have to fake it till you make it, but never be inauthentic. Never pretend to be someone you're not, because that's how you really become unhappy. And well, people will probably make fun of you for one or two things, but it ain't nothing you can't handle. I've been made fun of for a number of reasons, and you just gotta kind of muscle through it. It's some assholes can't tell that they're just a wee bit more retarded than you are. Matter of fact, anyone who makes fun of you for something that especially something that you can't control and that is not negative, they're just a fucking retard. I understand that word has a lot of reason not to be used, but I don't mean it to be I don't mean it to hurt any smaller group or minority or anything like that. It's just an expression of my perceived stupidity of certain people. Now, of course, it has a negative connotation, and that's why I use it. I should probably stop, but it's a lot of things a lot of people should probably stop. You ever listen to a drunk? I'm gonna quit after this one. They say, and then they never do. An alcoholic is an alcoholic, and you can bet 20 goddamn bucks that they're gonna stay an alcoholic for another day more, and 9 out of 10 times you're gonna be damn right. If you ever have to bet on the alcoholic, always bet on the fact that they're gonna stay one. Never give an alcoholic too much of a second chance, because they will absolutely fumble it. Now, there is, of course, exceptions to this, and especially if someone's close to you, by all means, do your best to help them, but don't count on them. Unfortunately, that's a mistake many people have made, and almost always is a negative one. Same goes for druggies, obviously. If someone's addicted to a substance, it's very difficult to claw them away from that, and you can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. Never try to. If someone's a lost cause, they're a lost cause, and you have to move past it. It's a lot like losing someone. It can be, but it's a necessary concession, I'll tell you what, you'll feel a lot better once you realize that most people are completely and utterly, I don't know how to articulate that, they're they're set in stone, largely. People, they change. Of course they change. Everyone changes. That's why we have phases. But most of your changing happens in your early years, at least from what I'm told. And at least largely from what I've seen, people don't change very quickly. And you can't count on someone who has a dependency to change. Never keep around a friend who's a junkie, you know? So they're just gonna be a junkie. Never. I mean, unless you're a junkie, you're a junkie, you got junkie friends, I don't know, be fucking junkies, I don't really care. And they never take something I say as incredibly important or as a rule of thumb. You know why? Because I'm just an idiot. I'm practically an infant. There's a world of experience I have yet to have. And a lot of the things I'm saying here are, well, they're likely retarded. I might look back on them at some point in the future and think that I was an absolute buffoon. And that's part of the beauty of it, that these recordings, they're documentation of my thoughts at a certain point in time. No matter what, you're always going to think yourself to be the most moral and the most upright, but you need to realize that that's not true. You need to be able to understand that just as much as you think everyone else to be a retard, you are just as much a one to them, and they have their right, and you have your right, and you can both be wrong. You both have your wrongs just as you have your rights. That's that's a weird piece of articulation there, but everyone thinks they're right. And you are right. If you think you're right, then you're right. Just understand that most people probably won't agree with you on everything, and that's completely fine. And it's a world of, it's a scary world. It's a unagreeable world, and the world doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about me. It doesn't care about any one person. And largely the only thing we need to care about is not actually the world itself. We need to think about the world that we created, a civilization. It's a really strange idea, but there's nothing inherent about things as fundamental to the way we think about our world as the nation state. There's nothing saying in natural law that there should be such a thing as a nation with borders and a defined peoples or anything like that. For all intents and purposes, nations are complete and utter bullshit made up by complete and utter assholes that mean practically nothing. And, take it as an anarchist stance, but, I mean, there's probably another way we could have organized in almost any other way, and it probably would have been of a similar effect. You could have organized not as nations, but as very blurred groups with not clearly defined borders, but it's very hard to conceive, and it's even hard for me to think about sometimes, because these are things so seemingly ingrained, so intrinsic to our world, that it's very difficult to think out of them. There's a lot of underlying systems like that, My ramblings are probably not the most entertaining, and I understand that, but if anyone has watched this or is enjoying listening to this, maybe just to laugh at me, or maybe to just see into the mind of a random idiot kid, thank you for standing by. I'll probably, in the case that you're laughing at these thoughts. I'll probably laugh at them too at some point in my future. And in the case that you're just trying to get a little bit of insight on how, I guess, well, you probably don't have a reason for being here. You probably clicked on this after some other piece of shit gameplay video, or odds are anyone who's watching this has passed the fuck out on their sofa or high off their ass. Don't much matter to me though. Thank you for being here. It actually does mean a lot, It's I think it's crazy that someone might want to listen to me for more than 20 minutes. Honestly, more than 5 is asking a bit much. Anyways, I'll probably wrap up here soon. One last swig of Monster. Going on about an hour now. I'll definitely have to cut this down a bit. Or maybe I'll upload the whole thing, even with the beginning bloopers. Oh yes, that'll be great. I'm uploading it with the beginning bloopers. In fact, this is just going to be a thorough VOD. You're seeing the entire thing, start to finish, no stops. Why? I have no clue. Complain if you want, I'm not going to do anything about it. Shut up. Prick. God, always talking. Ooh, a campfire. I have a lovely, lovely idea. Lovely idea. Okay. See this room? Shit. Fuck. I need another campfire. Yeah. Where did I get coal from? Did I get coal? Do I have coal? Yes, I have coal. Where did Huh. I don't remember getting coal. I was just like entranced by that conversation I was having with this microphone. Because just think about what's actually happening on the other side of this, right? Like I'm I'm just talking at Minecraft about the weird, inane garbage that comes to my head. I don't regret it though. It was a great time. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you had a lot of fun listening to my insanity. Okay, I know I said I was gonna leave soon, but this is actually kind of dope, and I really want to finish it. I just don't have enough red terracotta for this room. So, oof. Okay. Kind of want to finish it off camera, maybe, so that I don't have to keep talking to entertain y'all. Then again, you're not here because you're entertained. So, maybe it'll be fine. There's probably no one even here, matter of fact. Screw it, I'm gonna just keep going for a little bit then. Okay, so the plan. Get red terracotta. Put it over this. And then this is going to be like, I don't know, man, I don't know. Just watch. Just watch. It's going to be a dope house. You're going to love it. Or you're going to hate it. I don't really care. Complain if you want. And then shut the fuck up. Because I do not care. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. At 'em now, give 'em the gun, give 'em the gun. Down we dive, spotting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame. We go down in flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Wow. don't know why I did that. Every once in a while that the Air Force anthem will get stuck in my head, and I just have to sing it. I just have to sing it. There's no reason not to. You know, like I don't think anyone cares. Should probably. Do I have the? Yes, I do. Torches, baby, woo! Look at me go. Look at me go. I have a torch. Wow. I should probably split this up. Huh? Multiple videos. One night. Multiple videos one night. Ooh, you boys are getting spoiled now. Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it. Tell you what. I'm gonna go on a 2-month tirade where I won't even talk to you. Because I'm just like that. My bad. Yeah, I'm getting the right one. It kind of looked orange. Wow, I think it just is like that in the torchlight. Is that right above me too? I think that, yeah, no, that's a different color. I might need to take the color blindness test. You know it would be dope. 2020 vision. Imagine being able to see. Spoiled pricks. Sometimes I'll be sitting in the back of biology class, looking at the board, like, what is this ancient script, dog? Miss, can you read the entire lesson again? It's like, you know. I mean, good times, though, really. I mean, good times. I actually kind of like my biology class. No, I'm not failing that one, not yet. It's kind of a slippery slope, though, because, you know, if I look away for 2 seconds, I need, like, an hour of help to get caught back up. I'm an imbecile. Same friend from earlier who told me how to do the macaroni right is the reason I'm passing algebra right now. She is a absolute lifesaver, absolutely lovely person. But if she was not around, I would almost certainly be failing that class, and, you know, probably a couple of these too. Okay. Ooh, I can't really cover up the fire. Can I? Okay. Ideas. Idea. Boom. 1, 2. Boom, boom, boom. 5 big booms. Sorry for the print. Oh, shit. My bad. That was an accident. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Ooh, okay. Well. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. My bad. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. That meme is so dead. But, controversial opinion. It's actually a good song. Like, no fucking joke. It's a good song. Oh, man. You know what I should have done? I'm taking that roof off. I'm gonna make it a different color. I'm making it a different color. This is not, you know, that I am better than you, loser. Dumb red, stupid color. I will not tolerate you being absolutely everywhere. Now I don't know what color to do, though. I just wanted to do a different color. Maybe I'll finish the walls first. Bum 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 ba do 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 bum ba do 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 do. They often call me Steve. Wait. They often call me Speed. My real name is Mr. Brown. Do 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 do. Well, they often call me Speed. My real name is Mr. L. Do 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 do. I don't really remember the rest of You know, if I didn't play Fallout for so long, I would never have gotten a taste for that crazy old music. And you know, it's a fun time every now and again, but you temper it around people, you know. You have to temper it around people, because people are boring. That's why people are actually kind of great, but, you know, just can't expect everyone to like the same thing. I've had many people complain about my interests. It's like, man, I got injured longboarding the other day. And all you skater kids out there are gonna be like, oh, you longboarder, kill yourself. Shut up. I don't have a skate deck. I would love to use a like skateboard. I'd probably put cruiser wheels on it at some point, but you know, I definitely do want a trick deck, and I want to learn some cool tricks and stuff. It's just at the moment it's not economical, and I'd rather just be able to use my longboard to get around. And eventually I'll get a skate deck. Matter of fact, I'll start making skate videos and like showing y'all what I do. I'm an inexperienced buffoon, but I'll sure as hell do it. And I'll tell you what, every once in a while I set up my workshop and I swap out hardware on my longboard, just because I can, really. I have two longboard decks. They're literally the same ones, but I actually did a decent job decorating one and not the other. The other one's really corny. But one of them is like head to toe Slipknot stuff, and it's so dope. So dope. I don't really know what I'm going for with this roof. But this is dope, though. This room is so cool. What does it look like from the outside? Wow, this is ass. This is so ass. This is a piece of shit. Why do I live here? Okay. Okay. How do I make this better? I don't think I will. In fact, I think I'm gonna live in this shambled hut, and I'm just gonna be like that, you know. I still don't know how to use these things. I was watching, I think it was IBX Toy Cat. Anyone else watch IBX Toy Cat? I mean, obviously, if you watch Bedrock content, you probably do. You just like run into things. Ooh, you can run into multiple things. That's dope. That's dope. Hold up. Okay, if they're like in a line, I guess, right? Die. Yeah. Die. Stupid idiot. Oh, hi. How are you? You having a lovely day? I'm having a lovely day. You are having a lovely day, I'm going to say. I'm going to assume that your day is of a particular loveliness, because everything's lovely. I've had a great day. If you're not having a great day, loser, for one. Two, my bad. And I hope it gets better, honestly. Hope it gets better. I'd be a bad person if I didn't. And you know, I don't like being a bad person. Being a bad person feels bad, so hope it gets better. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just trying to make this look okay. And honestly, it's probably not going to, and I am fine with that, I guess. Oh boy. Oh boy. Looks like a drug den. Alright. Let's get her done. I need another jungle tree. Oh, brother, I settled far from the jungle. Not far. You know. Shut up. Say what I want, how I want, when I want. even if it's completely and utterly wrong. You know that. You ever just make a fully false statement with no reason behind it, just because you can, I guess. I mean, usually it's unintentional, but like it'll just be like, man, the sky is really red today, and just a fully false statement, not to trick anyone or be a prick, but just like keep people on their toes, It's like just say something incredibly stupid, like, let's address the squid in the room, and people will be like, what are you talking about? It's not how that goes at all. And they'll ask you what the big idea is, and you can just be like, I found this pencil on the floor, and it looks absolutely beautiful, and I think everyone just needs to behold this for a minute. Just being a buffoon, it's a really lovely experience, and I recommend it, Ooh, this is nice. This is beautiful. This is absolutely wonderful. It is not, is it? No, it is not. It is not. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, folks. This is gonna be it for today. Taking my crafting bench. Okay. Well, that's been me rambling for an hour and 10-ish minutes-ish. It's like more like 7, but who cares? I will be back another time or something. Why am I doing the third person thing? I don't fucking know. Moral of the story, be a bozo, don't be a prick, and enjoy life, because, fuck you or something. It's taking a minute to turn this off. Bye, bitch.